Welcome to this week's episode on Laid Back the Rosenka podcast. So the topic we have for you today, for this week is positive energy. And to discuss this today, I have with me Makuo Okafo. Hi, Makuo.
Hi. I'm good. I'm very good. Erinze, I'm so excited to be here.
Yeah,
It's been ages.
Same here. So Makuo works with BBC Nigeria, BBC Igbo in Nigeria. So Makuo and I actually met in Enugu whilst organizing Twitter Premier League back in Nigeria. So what actually impressed me about Makuo? So let me actually sing your praises now. Was your work
Come on. I'm not
Your
sure I would
attitude-
like.
but it's actually important that I mentioned it. Like your attitude to life. Like when I asked you, I felt like you were always happy. I didn't know how you do that because even when things weren't going well during the organization of the whole thing, you were a little bit calm and you were always smiling. Which is actually good, all right. And so he was always happy actually, and especially when there was food.
I was just about that. Please bring the food.
Exactly. Especially when there was food. I remember when we used to go to that. What's it called again? The place in Independence Lounge.
I honestly cannot remember. I know the place, but I can't remember the name.
Yeah,
See how our memories fail us.
Yeah, we used to have Thai rice there or something like that.
Yes.
Yeah.
Thai place.
Yeah.
And I hear it has closed down, by the way. I mean,
Really?
it's sad. Yes, it's sad. I hear it's closed down.
That's so sad because the food was actually nice. To be fair,
Very nice.
very very nice. Yeah.
Mhm.
So like I said, I think Makuo is the happiest person I know, and I think Makuo is the best person to have this conversation with. So welcome, Makuo. Let's
Thank
start
you.
from there.
Okay.
Why are you always happy?
That's a funny and interesting question. Okay, so if I'm going to be honest, I am actually not always happy, but what I honestly do is I make a conscious effort to be happy. Now those are two different things. One is when you say why are you always happy, it's as if I'm constantly in that state, but I'm not. But I then put myself in a condition that will put me in that space. So that's what I do. And why I do this is for two reasons. One, for myself, and secondly, for others. When I really put myself in a space that allows me to be happy, I am more coordinated in my thoughts, in my words, in my actions. And if I'm going to extend that to others, I've also realized that because, just as you said, honestly, this is not the first time I'm hearing this. Because people say I carry this joy around, it makes it easier for them to also not just communicate with me, but also even absorb that energy. So it's as if I'm offering a service to myself and to others, and I think it's really something noble and honorable to do. So yeah, that's I guess that's why I do it. I mean, that's why I am where I am. Yeah.
Because you're actually right, because I think energies and vibrations are actually infectious, and that reminds me of there was this conversation one time about being likable and respect, and I think now in retrospect I think you're actually right, because I know we argued and I said you should go for respect more than being likable, which is good, I guess. But being always happy, you actually end up attracting people, because people don't want to be around a downer or somebody who complains all the time with negative energy. And you wouldn't know that you actually do that and you're pushing all other people away. You wouldn't know that's what you're actually pushing others away. But because you're always happy and you vibrate and you radiate this joy, everybody wants to be around you. But how do you handle this? Sometimes do you feel overwhelmed and feel like if you're an introvert or an extrovert, because I know a lot of introverts at some point they get overwhelmed. Do you ever get overwhelmed and feel like, you know what, I think I should stay in my shell right now?
Okay, so truth is I'm a natural extrovert, but of course I'm not sure anybody's 100%. I guess this thing is a spectrum. I have met extroverts that have humbled me. As in some people that are moving sunshines, they are very extroverted. But naturally, on an average, I'm an extrovert. So it generally makes it easy for me to not just, be, I wouldn't want to use the word excited because that will make it look too sugary, but it makes it easier for me to be excited. I wish I knew another way to say it. And then it also makes it easier for me to pass it to people, in the sense that I will probably be the first person to start a conversation. I'll give an example. So when I started working at my new workplace, great environment, like great work environment, and I love the energy and the community. It's as if we're a family. But I deliberately started bringing snacks to office, healthy snacks, really into fitness. So I would deliberately bring a bottle of granite, bottle of cashew nut, sliced cucumber.
I was about to ask you if the snacks were actually granite. I was about to ask you.
Yep. You know that. You know me. So I, it was my own way of ice breaking the team. Ideally, when you're the new kid on the block, you might just be in your shell for a long time and observe, and which was what I was doing. But while I was doing that, I decided to use a more non-conventional way, which is bringing snacks for everybody to work. And to be honest, everybody was excited because our job requires so much brain energy. People always need snacks. So that way, it was just easy for me to start off conversations and be myself, and also just hear from people and learn easily. And that's an example. But what you asked, is it overwhelming sometimes? Why I think for me it's not overwhelming is the things I do and the life I live. I'm not trying to sound selfish. It's first for me, and I'll explain what I mean. Because you know how they say you can't give what you don't have.
True.
If I an enabling and great conducive environment for people around me, it's actually more for me than it is for them. I don't know if you get what I mean. No one wants to come to a house that is burning. So if I sense that a house is going to burn and I start padding it with ice, I'm protecting myself as I'm protecting every other person. So I have taken away the power of wanting to please people, which is one thing I constantly have to check that, but because trying to be the happy person in the room also means you might now become a people pleaser. So I constantly have to up all the time. This is not for others. It is first for you and then for others. In that way, I know the difference between actually being a positive force and wanting and then burning myself to keep other people warm. That's one thing I try to do. So I try to balance that. So the fact that it's more for me first before others makes it easy for me to carry the weight that I can carry, and not every person's weight. Like, okay, this person is sad, I have to attend to this person is this. That would be so much and so overwhelming. I don't know if I've made sense, but
no. I think you actually made great sense, because thinking about it now, I see myself as someone who is actually happy, but thinking about it now, I've had people tell me you have resting bitch face, your face is scary, you're this, but I'm being honest, but you wouldn't know, like, it actually scares people off as well. You see what I mean? But you just say something that actually I can actually pick on, because every time I see you, you're always smiling. And I've tried that sometimes, and realize I struggle to do it because it's not really, it doesn't come natural to me. Sometimes I struggle to do that all the time, even though deep down I am happy. So like, but I realized, like you said, like you buy snacks to actually break the ice and make people happy and get them smiling, then you can actually talk to them. So now I'm thinking, is there anything you can actually tell a lot of people out there who have resting bitch face? Because I know I know there are a lot of people like that out there, not just me. Like, who have resting bitch face? Is there anything that can actually do that they give joy and happiness?
Okay, truth is, and I like that you already talked about what comes naturally to you. I think that, I look at my childhood pictures and there are lots of me grinning. I don't know if the cameraman forced me. I was like, you have to smile. But I think that smiling and being this cheerful person comes naturally to me. However, just circling back to what I said earlier, first, people will always, no matter what you do, I'm sure there are people who think, why is he always like this? This thing is not even good enough or something. So people will always have their opinions. So as I said, I've taken away the power from people first. But to be honest, so I'm sure people have opinions about me or you or every other person, and you don't have to do anything for people to drop their opinions, good, bad, and ugly. So for starters, if you think people are probably misjudging you, it's their fault, it's their loss, quote unquote. Okay.
Sorry to cut you short, but like understand what I'm trying to say. Like, but it's not about worrying too much about what people say or whatever.
Sure.
No, it's not about that, because normally I would say I would actually say you shouldn't care a damn thing about what people say. But the thing is, whether we like it or not, first impression actually matters. And when you meet somebody for the first time and you have a resting face, they make up they make up this thing. They assume in their head that, oh, this person is not a social person, or this person is not a happy person. So is there anything like people like that can actually do to actually make people to be able to be relaxed around them?
Okay. That now that you've put like a proper context to it, I guess it's also just like everything in life. It's a case of practice and doing it again and again. So it might just mean deliberately having to smile. And I will not lie to you, I do that also. Like when I'm walking into any room, I remind myself, oh, you have to smile. It's a good thing, it's a good sell for you. So I walk in with a smile on my face, and when I'm shaking you, I make sure the smile is wide enough. And if we have a relationship that allows me to do that, I touch your shoulder. I don't know how or when I learned that, but I just realized that these are little cues, non-verbal cues that make people relax. But then again, as I said, it depends on my relationship with you or where we met or where we are. But ideally, I actually am conscious about having to put a smile on my face, because first, it makes me feel good and it makes people feel good. So if you feel that maybe your face is scary, because that's an actual thing. I know people who are genuinely very happy when you get to know them, but on my first impression, I'm like, this person beats me. I didn't want to teach them.
No, but the funny thing is, deep down, I've come to realize, or maybe because I'm like that, so I'm going to be a little bit biased, but I've come to realize people who actually have such resting bitch faces, at least the ones I've met, when they get to know them, they're actually happy and the nicest people you ever meet. I don't know why.
But I agree with you.
Maybe I'm just being biased, but at least from my own experience, at least people I've met who actually are like that. When you get to know them, if they do something for you, they do it genuinely because it comes from the heart. And sometimes I feel like some of them are like that, maybe because of the trauma or whatever they've passed through in life. I don't know.
I guess actually.
I don't know, but that's what at the end of the day I came to that conclusion. Maybe some people are like that because of that, and some people are like that naturally. So they're trying as much as possible to scare people away because of maybe what they've gone through, what they've experienced. But because just like you mentioned, because I know to be charming, everybody likes positive energy. I like to joke. I don't think there's anybody that wants to be around somebody who doesn't joke. Because that's too serious, man. Life is already too serious.
Life's already too serious.
Why do you have to be serious all the time? So like because there's this tweet I saw recently. Someone said, if you are always talking about your problems, whether you like it or not, people end up running away from you, and because they don't want to be around. And even though you don't know deep down, because maybe what you are going through is actually overwhelming, it's not really your fault, but they can't help it as well. They run away from you.
I will tell you this from experience. So I know someone. What actually made us drift apart is every single time we talk, he is going on about something bad happening. And don't get me wrong, like I'm not saying this because I'm a bad friend. I'm saying this because it's like constantly turning on the news and hearing bad news.
Yeah,
it's depressing and overwhelming. And for everybody who thinks I'm the happiest person in the world, I actually have real life issues, of which if I tell you some right now, you're going to be like, okay, I would never have this. Do you get?
Yeah.
But I also know there is a place of getting to share your problems with people, your friends, your family, and people around you. But then there is also a place of almost becoming that problem. That becomes your identity, your problems. Every time I can bet you. Do you know that I'm almost so sure that I can send you a screenshot of all the conversations I've had with this person, and it has just been woes upon woes upon woes. And I've tried. I'm like, guy, I understand, and things are bad, and Nigeria is bad.
Yeah.
But swimming in it is not going to help you or help me or even make me want to help you, because what that does is I just feel like all you offer is bad news.
Yeah. So that means whenever the guy talks to you, be like, here we go again.
It wasn't like that in the first 2, 3, 4 months that graduated to a year. But to be honest, there has to be a day that we can talk and we don't talk about your problems.
Yeah.
There should be that day. And I don't think he understood, because I've mentioned it 1 or 2 times, but I don't think he understood it. I also was trying to be cautious, because to be honest, someone is down, you don't want to kick them when they're already down. But
True.
I also wanted him to get a picture of the situation at hand, being that your problems shouldn't be your identity. You shouldn't embody them. Things can actually be worse or better, but your disposition and how you choose to also affect everything. And I'm going to speak a little bit on how you look at life. I don't know if I have time for that. Can I speak a bit on that?
Yeah.
Okay. So two people can be in one bad situation, but one finds humor, which comes naturally to Nigerians. One, can't take it, and I know that to an extent. That is one thing again that I also have decided to do always in life, which is have a positive disposition. I tell myself things can be worse, and to be honest, things can actually be worse than they are. And what I'm experiencing is not the worst. It sounds very light and very wishy-washy. I mean, what I'm experiencing is not the worst, but it's not the worst, and it means once I'm alive, there is hope that I can get out of this situation. And I can find help in this situation. I can help myself. But if I keep looking at it as something, because how you look at something also affects how you attack it.
True.
I can look at Ronaldo and think this is an insurmountable mountain. But there are people who have looked at him and said, this is a human being with blood, flesh, and bones, and I can go against him. And those people exist. And they've actually at least been almost an equal match with him. But if you have a defeated mind, he's impossible, he's still Ronaldo. Trust me, he's actually going to be impossible to defeat. So disposition, how you look at life, how you view life is very important also in this in your general, how you're going to come out. I don't know if I've made sense.
No, you make sense, because I'll use myself as an example here. Honestly, I've always seen myself as I would say I used to call myself a realist, until my friend told me they really understand that a realist is actually someone who is just negative, and this person is calling himself a realist. So, but I didn't get that until I realized I actually complain a lot, because if you are being realistic, you are actually trying to weigh the pros and cons, and without knowing, you end up complaining a lot without even knowing, because you're trying to get. I'm this kind of person. I always ask. If you've ever stayed with me, you understand this. I always ask why. I don't know why, but I'm a curious person. I'll always ask why. Why is this laptop black? Why is this phone red? I'm always asking that question, even if it doesn't make sense to me. I'm actually asking myself that question in my head. Why is this car actually white? Like, why is it not black? Like, is my thing. So, but along the line, until a friend actually sat me down and told me, do I actually know that I actually complain a lot, that I'm actually a moaner? But I didn't see myself like that, to be honest. But so now I'm thinking, what if that your friend, yes, maybe the person is trying to say, okay, the person is trying as much as possible to have positive mindset, like view things positive instead of seeing it negative, and the person doesn't even know that he or she is actually doing it. Is this something you think you can actually bring to his attention and tell your friend, oh, do you know you always complain? Do you know you can actually change and like let's work towards it? Is this something you think you could have had that kind of conversation with him?
Okay, I wish I was as honest as your friend, who literally came to you and said it, because I did more of hinting and suggesting, which is a very diplomatic way. And that's the thing. I'm beginning to realize that sometimes people don't catch such cues. Because I am not a generally, going to be the guy who hook you by the neck. Well, depends on how close we are. But I'm not, considering the conversation, I'm not so close to this person like that.
Yeah.
So, but I think that maybe if I came out a little bit more direct and more, this can actually be a problem, it would help. And to be honest, I'm going to have to go back to that with the person, because I think it's beyond me. I know that he also carries the same energy to other people, and is doing him a disservice. So if he doesn't fix it, and if perhaps I don't talk about it with him, then I'm also doing him a disservice. So yes, I believe strongly that maybe if I tell him this is what you do, it might at least bring his attention. I'm not talking about him changing, but at least he becomes aware that, oh, this is actually what I do. So yes, I agree.
Because the first step to changing anything is at least you being aware of what you do. Because if you're not aware, you're not going to change. That's the first step. You have to at least be aware and acknowledge you actually do that thing before you can actually change.
I agree so strongly. Yes, and it's true. While I mean, your friend's definition of being realistic, I found it funny, but I understand exactly what your friend is saying. However, in relation to this, not so related, the people that I'm weary of, which is clearly not your type, are people who go on and on about things but never are available to provide solutions, one, or are never open to hear solutions. There are people who just enjoy whining about things. Do you understand? I think it just makes them happy, or it makes them feel like, oh, we're in the real pain of the world. Yes, but in this same world that two of us are inside, people have gone to the moon and back just because it was their childhood dream.
It's true.
So So for the most part, I'm always like, okay, I've heard it. Do you have a solution? No. Can we think of a solution? Yes. And everything on earth has a solution, including cancer. The fact that we don't know it now doesn't mean it doesn't exist.
True.
So that's I just thought to mention that. So it's good to be a realist.
But like, my friend's opinion of realism, it makes sense, because I've always I think, okay, let me not say I've always thought I'm this kind of person, like I can actually look at things and read it easily, and I can tell you what I think is going to happen at the end. I don't know why sometimes. So sometimes I feel like it comes to it's all about being realistic, and you say these are the possible outcomes, this or that. This is what I mean. But at the end of the day, he was the one that actually pointed that end up taking towards negative without actually. And I appreciate that, because I like people who are actually honest. I'm okay with that, so I can actually take it. But it's something like, then I started asking myself, what if you are actually alienating others by actually projecting this negative energy, complaining all the time, being a downer? Nobody actually likes that. And like a friend, and the person wouldn't know, because the person deep down, the person would think, okay, you know what? After I'm just having a real conversation with people here. It's nothing. It's actually what's actually happening in my life. So why should I hide it? Why should I be fake? Or why should I conceal anything? You see what I mean? So to the person, person might be thinking, okay, do you know what? It's not really a big. I'm actually just having a normal conversation.
Mm, mm. Okay, I get now what you mean. So I guess it's a case of balance, you know.
Yeah.
Just knowing when, because to be honest, you also have to think of others and be empathic. I'm not talking about you now. I'm just talking about on a bigger picture.
Yeah.
There are times when I've had issues, but as much as I felt the need to share with others, I also knew that more people are going through hell. Maybe at this moment, I can keep this one to myself, at least for this moment. Maybe not forever, but just, guy, how far? Let's have a normal conversation that isn't about the issues I'm facing. So I strongly get what you mean, and now that we're talking about it, I'm even saying, oh, maybe I should even take more notes and know that people can carry. Nobody on earth can carry your whole problem. So maybe sometimes just carry some by yourself for a period of time, and just be real with others that isn't about your problem. So yes, this makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, because deep down we all need someone who can actually vent, to be fair. Because it is possible. Sometimes I feel like sometimes we haven't identified those people who can actually vent to properly. Because if your friend knows, oh hey, you are there, you can actually vent to you all the time. So that means after venting to you, at least you make the person feel good, but the person will not go around actually spreading negative energy. But I get it. The problem now is after venting to you, he will transfer that energy and the vibration to you.
Exactly.
Then you end up being sad, which is not what you.
Yes, at least not all the time.
Yeah,
maybe once in a while, or once every other time.
yeah, because you know this thing, because I remember I met someone and the person was always complaining. No matter I'll always provide solutions and tell the person do this, do that. The person will never do it, and the person was always complaining. Then it got to a point I was fed up. And I now started asking myself, I like being introspective, to ask myself questions. What if I've actually done this to people without actually knowing? And somebody deep down would not tell, and the person would be like, do you know what? I can't take this rubbish from this person anymore. This person is always complaining. Because that's how I got to the point where I wanted to tell the person, man, this has to stop. I'm tired now. So but that's the thing, because I don't think anybody wants to wallow in self-pity and pain. People actually want to be happy. I'm wrong, but that's what I think.
No, I don't think you're wrong. I actually think you're very, very correct. Take away the surface look of it. Everybody, were made to enjoy dopamine and all those hormones that it is nature. Once it's introduced in our system, we are better, we are more functional. So I think our body wants it. Even if we don't want it, our body needs it. So I think everybody would love a little time of happiness every once in a while. So yes, but I'm going to ask you something. So in the real value of things, is happiness really that important, and how far should we go in positive? This is a little bit off what we started off, but I'm thinking about it because I also know there are people who now go on the extreme where all they live for is to be happy and either make other people happy or be happy. I don't know. So
but that's a really, really good question, because there's this book I think knowing you, I think you must have read it. The subtle art of not giving a fuck. Have you read
okay. I do not know why I've not read it, because it is always around me. Someone is always reading it.
but I think you should read the book, because the person actually I have the same mindset. He was just trying to say that you can't be positive all the time. That negative feelings actually teach you something. That the only thing you just have to do is you have to take responsibility that you are the mess up in your life and start looking for solutions. But being positive all the time, fighting, for example, when you are down, instead of actually not wallowing in pain or whatever, but actually embracing for solutions. You say no, you do know what? Let's go out and party. Let's do.
We move Nigerian mentality.
Yeah, let's go on a party. Let's do drugs. Let's do this. Let's do that. That means you're actually just running away from what is your problem. You are not actually solving it. That you have to actually embrace it. And if you know you will mess up in life, you know you are. The best thing is for you to admit it and then work towards it. So you now give an example about a guy and this relationship. He now said the guy was always complaining. Like the guy was saying, the girlfriend left him, the girlfriend cheated on him, blah 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 blah. He was not saying if the guy actually had taken time to actually think about it, you realize that yes, maybe the girlfriend was horrible, but he also played a role. So it's all about you taking responsibility and accepting. Okay, maybe because maybe you were an asshole, you didn't really care about the girl's feelings like that. So not that he's trying to absolve the girlfriend of all the blame. No, but accepting that yes, thank you. So the book is all about you taking responsibility and not chasing positive feelings all the time. Because sometimes when you do that introspection, I think I started doing this introspection when a long time ago, and I realized I don't like it. It's a good. The thing is, it will always make you feel bad because once you do introspection, mess up like you mess up big time. It will make you feel bad, and for that period, you are not going to be happy for a while. And the truth is, that's what a lot of people run away from. They would rather be happy, so they don't really like to take stock and say, okay, do you know what? The things I actually did to Makuo was not really good. And we don't really like. Most people don't like to do that. Why would they do that? Why would they be the one to take the responsibility? They would rather blame the next person. They would rather just blame the next person. So
I like what you're saying so much. As in, I'm like while we're talking, I'm also introspecting. I like this in the sense that of which I think I mentioned this, but in a different way. So your presentation of it is even better. There is a solution to every problem. So don't just wallow. This is me, trying to interpret what you said. Don't just wallow in your issues. While you identify your problems, also know that there is a solution. Also know that you played a role in, if need be. If you played a role, identify it and own up. So this makes sense. Yeah, sorry. You wanted to say something. I thought I caught you. Forgive me.
No, you're right, because the thing is, that's why, like, I'm the kind of person, if I mess up, I accept it. Maybe, I fell out with this person or that person. I spend time thinking about that thing over and over again to know if there was something I actually did that actually cost it. Sometimes you maybe I talk to your friend, the person will be like, you're just overstressing yourself. But no, this is how I see things. Because I want to be clear. If there's something I did, I can actually go back and apologize. I'm okay with that. But if I think about it over and I realize there's nothing I did that warranted that disrespect or whatever, I'm never apologizing. I don't care. I don't care. But it's something that, like, most of us, we don't really we don't like to do. Even when we hurt other people, we end up saying, do you know what, is they cost it, or they'll get over it maybe after a few months or whatever. Try as much as possible. You think that they'll get over it. People, we are human beings. We don't get over things like I was having this conversation with a friend recently, and we're talking about how people never forget people who bullied them in secondary school. And it sounds like the people that are being petty, but I don't think so. People never forget things like that, because if it left an indelible mark in their life, they will never forget it. So and it sounded as if I was being crazy, but I knew what I was talking about, because just imagine, for example, let's say, okay, yeah, you are my junior in further back then. I was one that was beating you up every day. Deep down, when you see me, like now that we're all grown up, when you see me, what's the first thing that will come to your mind? Let's just be honest.
I'm being honest. It's going to be that, and it's also going to affect our current relationship.
Yeah.
Unless there is a sort of, as I said, if you maybe apologize or
Exactly.
literally build the bridge. But if we leave things like that and assume, now we're adults, you should get over that. I'm not going to get over that. It's definitely going to affect how I view you, how I will treat you, how I will feel around you. So
yeah. So
that isn't so as light as people want to make it.
Yeah, but that's what I'm trying to paint a picture here. But sometimes the person who has beaten the person who is the bully that's beating the younger person, the person will never remember he has beaten somebody and left a mark. That's the thing. You see what I mean? When we do things to people, we don't really realize that, this thing we did to this person was actually huge, or like caused a lot of emotional damage or physical damage. We don't really take stock of those things. We only remember the ones that were done to us.
Yes,
so exactly. So, it's something about that introspection. What I mean. So before I try as much as possible to look back and say, okay, do you know what did I do now? The things I said to this person, was it really mean? Because you might end up saying, oh, this person doesn't like me. But what if you give the person cold replies every time the person tries to talk to you, or you try as much as possible to be this unnecessarily mean when the person is trying to reach out to you? Yes, to you, maybe you are in a bad mood or whatever, but if you leave a mark on the person will be like, it seems Makuo doesn't like me. So the person will stop reaching out to you. So it's something we like. That's how I see it anyway. But I realize most people don't like to do that. They always think, no, it's other person's fault. It can never be my fault.
Trust me, I'm laughing because I can almost see someone who is like, there's a picture in my head. Someone I've worked with is actually like that. Never gonna take responsibility for the issues of course, and always wanted to blame other people. So yeah, I know what you mean, and I don't think it's a good look.
No, it's not a good look, and it's something like, okay, deep down, I'm not trying to put the blame on anyone, but it's something we all have to look inwards and ask ourselves if we actually do it. Like, we do things to people and we don't care. Like, it feel like it's just okay. It's nothing. No, but because the things we do to people, whether we like it or not, and yes, I know everybody's trying to be form tough guy, hard guy. Yes, we all are, but deep down, it causes a lot of emotional damage, and they might not say it, but deep down, it will change the way they think and the way they see things and the way they see the world. And that's life. We can't actually help you, but yes, the person will try as much as possible to be positive, but it can actually affect the person's outlook on life. If it was positive, it might end up changing into negative as well.
For the most part, we just talked about being conscious about your actions, how it affects you and affects others. And I think it's important to know that, because on an average, everybody just wants to think about themselves.
It's self-love,
Yes, it's self-love, and our generation much of that. But the truth is, every action, even if it's about you, it has an effect on others, and which also now have effect on other people. And there's a ripple effect of one little thing you did, rippling into the entire world in one way or another. And just the same way, if it's something good, it also ripples. I'll still use the example of me bringing granola to work. So before I realized that over just the short period of time, 3-4 months, other people started bringing things to work. I don't know if they were doing it before I came, but I'm just saying that I noticed that someone bring like a bag of chocolate and I brought chocolate. Today we're having chocolate. Another person's like, I'm bringing Gary. Let's bring Gary and granola. I'm like, so it became a thing that sometimes in our group, someone would say, should I bring Gary since my coach is bringing granola? So that has brought a new culture to the work environment, and everybody's happier and better because we're eating. I mean, as you know, food makes me happy, and I don't think it's just me. It makes people happy too. So knowing that your action, no matter how big or little it is, can change an entire culture or lifestyle, or I think you become more responsible and treat your actions with more responsibility.
Yeah.
Even if it means apologizing when you don't feel like apologizing. I
Yeah.
have someone I have to, by the way. So yes.
Yeah, but
So I
but,
would.
but but this thing you just said actually made me think a little bit. Yeah, because the positive thing you did there by buying candles without even knowing it to actually ginger a lot of other people around you to actually buy things and make other people happy. Because I remember there's something I started like while when I was doing the PhD. I was teaching as well, so there was something I started when I started. The first time I wanted to teach, I was so scared, but there was something I started doing because I felt like to me the most important thing was for me to create a positive atmosphere between me and the students. So once I step into the class, the first thing I actually do is to make sure no matter where you are from, I will tell everybody, I will introduce myself to the class, and I tell everybody to introduce themselves, tell me your name, where you're from, what you want to do, your hobbies, what you like. And I try as much as possible, no matter the number of students there, I try as much as possible to remember everybody's name and what they told me. Then I came to realize that when I do that, they end up having this bond, and they try as much as they go overboard to actually impress you and pass for no good reason. And it was something to me, it was just because I think I have a good memory, so I try as much as possible to remember things, like to make, because I feel like it makes life easier for me to actually remember where you're from, your name, and then it makes it easy for me. But in the long run, I realized it became it had a ripple effect. You see people actually like trying as much as possible. They will try as much as possible to crack the jokes in the class, and they'll try as much as possible to impress you and get good scores. And when they even get like a score, like you see people, they'll get 70, and they'll send you emails that will be like, "I'm sorry, I disappointed you." Like in my head, I'm like,
"Oh my God, 70." But that is yeah.
So like you have a good point. Like whether we don't even know when we do these things, and the positive vibes and the positive atmosphere and the positive energy we give out is actually really, really important, because once you start giving the negative vibes, whether you like it or not, the first thing that's going to happen is it make other people to be a little bit apprehensive, and then they will end up being so defensive, and then they'll start attacking you because they're on the defense. They'll try as much as possible to start attacking you. Nobody wins. It's like when it's like when you go to, okay, for example, let me use Nigerian offices, because anybody who has lived in Nigeria will understand this thing. You know how you go to all these government offices, you go see secretary, you go depend on mommy, because no organ, like sometimes they do. But you have to do this certain way, because they'll do some things at some point that will get on your last nerve. And once you lose your temper and start getting annoyed, that's the end. You will not get anything from that office. So it's still all about you trying as much as possible to maintain the positive front, and make sure like you keep on cajoling them, keep on pampering them, calling them mommy, this one, buying them some gifts, mineral, whatever, anything, anything, just to make them happy. Because you have to keep them in that state to actually get what you want. Because the moment you get like go tilt towards the negative one, and they get on the defensive, you will never get
ripple. Yes, and it will be worse for you, because you get.
You will never get what you want. Yeah. So you're right. Yeah.
So this has been very great, and sometimes when you talk about things, you realize that I'm even seeing some other parts of my actions that I haven't seen or probably looked critically at, and I like that we're having this conversation, and I hope it also helps every other person who is listening just know the importance of a little smile that you put on your face, a firmer handshake, a touch on someone's shoulder, nice words, gifts. I really believe in giving, and I don't just mean on your birthday. I think we should have a culture that gives. I try to do that. Give time, give my resource, give my talent, give compliments,
give advice. A friend told me recently, and I found that weird. And now I started thinking whether I was being stupid. Honestly, I'm being honest here now. because a friend told me recently that I'm the only person he knows that actually gives people free info to actually improve themselves. Like for example, we could be talking about something and I tell him, why don't you go and do this course? Why don't you go and do this certification? And to me, it's nothing, because if I'm your friend, why would I
withhold that?
Yeah, I feel like it should be like encouraging other people to actually grow and be better. And that's what I feel. But when he said that, like, it made me have not. It made, I'm being honest. Yeah, sometimes at the point before, am I overdoing it or am I being stupid now? Because it made me realize that some people actually hoard information. They will never tell you anything. They think it's going to make you better than them, so they will never ever tell you.
I'll be honest, I really say, because I agree with your friend. I enjoy. Let me confess, I low-key sometimes go through your timeline on Twitter. I may not retweet. Now you are one of those ghosts.
Yeah.
And I'm just reading and I'm taking down notes. And if you, whether you know it or not, you can go and check our chat. You realize that there have been many times we've offered advice about random things, fitness, career, life, relationships. We've actually talked, pockets and pockets of these things.
Yeah.
I don't think it's a bad thing. I would be shocked if anybody, and I don't think your friend also meant bad. It probably just is viewing life more as business and transaction, where everything should be.
But like, and this was like this wasn't even a digital conversation. It was like face-to-face conversation.
Real life.
So we're talking about something, and I was like, okay, now that you're actually doing this course, why don't you try as much as possible to do this certification? Like, I said it in Peter. I was like, it's everything that money all afford to find. You're supposed to better yourself. Like, and I felt like you are my friend. I don't see why I got to chase money. You're not going to chase money. Like, because if we're all doing and we're
it's
actually
for our own good.
Thank you. And if we're all doing well and we're all chilling in Bahamas or Dubai or whatever, that's the fun of it. You wouldn't want to be the one on vacation in Dubai and your friends are actually broke. To me, it makes no sense. Everybody should be.
It makes no sense.
Actually be moving forward, progressive. Actually, everybody should be successful so that life should be fun. Life will be fun. But like when he now told me that, it made me realize. I started asking myself, but wait, am I actually overdoing it? Because the way it was. Like he paused and he now told me that. I told me, do you really know you do this? Then it made me realize. Then I started thinking back, and I realized some people just call me just to pick your brain. And these are some of the people I know I've met in this life that when I was stuck and I called these guys and asked them for something, they never agreed to actually tell me anything. Some of them even told me I should just peruse the internet. I'll find the information myself. So it made me think if I was being stupid, because if these people would not tell me information easily and I'm actually helping them to actually get knowledge, am I not the one losing out here?
No, you have nothing to lose. I mean, in my opinion anyways, I might be wrong, but holding back good information, good advice. To be honest, in this world, we're all going to die, you get?
Yeah.
And you're going to carry it to your grave. If you give it out, as you said, their lives becomes better. If it becomes better than yours, it's okay. There's nothing wrong with that. I don't even think, and I know you on a personal level, I know this is not something that will give you a headache. So you're not overdoing it. I think that unless we're talking about business, of which this is not business, this is more of friendship.
Yeah.
I don't think you should stop, because it's a really good thing. Just do it. You have nothing to lose. They have something to gain. It's fine, but you have nothing to lose either. So it's a win-win for everybody.
No, but it still falls into this positive energy thing we talk about, because even though like I didn't see myself as someone that complains, but like I try as much as possible as I can. I feel like if you're telling your friends something that will impact their lives positively, even if you don't have all the jokes to share, but tell them, oh, there's this deal here, there's this investment here, there's this stuff here, there's this type, something that will actually make them to actually think and actually make them impact their lives positively. But if I'm always there to because let's see, to bring Jones in life and make with Jones and Jones because some people love that. I won't lie. I like Johnson, but you don't want the point where that's all your friends do. They just Jones and that they're not ambitious, they're not achieving anything. Whether you like it or not, it will get to the point where you outgrow them and you stop talking to them because you feel like these people are not growing. You're ambitious and they are not. You outgrow them and you want everybody to actually grow together. So yeah. But yeah, this has been very, very interesting and insightful, to be fair.
It has. Yeah, it has. It actually has been. And it has also been impactful for me. First, two things. I have to apologize to someone, which this conversation made me do. And secondly, I have to apologize to my friend. I actually will do that when we get on this conversation. So, and I've had time talking with you. It's always fun talking with you. I mean, every time we talk, as I said, your Twitter, because let me just talk about Twitter is, especially from, maybe because we're growing and I started noticing it from 2018, 19, 20, 21, Twitter has been so hostile and negative and stressful and everybody's just fighting about something. Your TL is one of those places where I don't see those things. I don't come there and I'm seeing some weird gender wars or tribal wars or...
But the only reason why you don't see these things is because I don't participate. I see them and I just ignore them. I just scroll and continue my life. It's just that sometimes, like, one day I thought about it and I think I tweeted it and I said, tweeting all these things about men hating women hating men is not going to help anybody, because at the end of the day, both men will want women. I won't lie, we all want women. Women want men. So why are we lying to ourselves? Men. And the more you keep on feeding yourself those negative things, you end up hating women, and you always be angry.
Very true.
Whether we like it or not, the information we soak in, it actually affects you deep down. You check the ones that are actually affecting you now. Maybe look at the ones all the trends, for example, from Oloni and the rest of them. Whether you want to accept it or not, there are certain things that you see there that will actually affect you, whether you like it or not. Very even though maybe you've experienced those things before, but because you're not reading it again, it's like deja vu again, and it will affect you now negatively. So at the point, I told myself, you know what? I'm not participating in gender wars anymore. It's not, because I can argue this thing forever. There's no need for this.
It will not change anything.
It will not change anything because they won't even listen to me and see where I'm coming from. So I stop bothering. So if you notice, I just come there, tweet maybe about my football, whatever, tweet my thing and go.
I think it's good. So it's a good thing, just because it's a very positive thing you're doing. So I think you should keep at it. And it's always great talking with you. Always.
Thank you.
I'm really so glad that I got invited to your platform. So thanks a lot.
But I should be the one. Thank you for at least honoring it. Thank you so much. Yeah, this has been very, very insightful, and thank you so much for coming on the show.
All right. Have a great day, and I wish you the best.
All right. Thank you so much. I appreciate it.
All right. Cheers, bro. Yep.
Laid Back the Atirozinka podcast will be a weekly podcast where I relax from the hustle and bustle of life to talk about a range of topics, including culture and lifestyle, sports, entertainment, history, science, technology, finance, politics, and religion. I will also interview amazing people from different walks of life. My hope is to build a community where more laid-back professionals can sit and chat about anything. Find me on social media at Laidback on Twitter and Instagram, and make sure to subscribe, rate, and comment on any podcast app. Thank you.